Hey there, welcome back to Taste the Trend. I'm Devin O'Brien and I'm about to show you how to make banana bread brownies. This is a delicious combination of both banana bread and brownies. Let me show you how to do it. All right, now we're gonna make our first batter. We're gonna mix some granulated sugar, that's 3/4 cup, with a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I've got 1/2 cup of canola oil here, but you can use any neutral oil you have on hand. Avocado oil would also work well here. All right, we're gonna whisk that together. Make sure you break up those brown sugar clumps so they all get evenly distributed. All right, and then we're gonna crack in 2 large eggs. All right, now we're gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract and just whisk that in until everything is fully incorporated here. Now we're gonna add our flour. So I'm gonna get rid of my whisk because we don't wanna overwork that flour. In brownies, you don't want a ton of gluten development or they'll get too tough. So add your 3/4 cup of white whole wheat flour here and we're just gonna fold it in. White whole wheat flour is just a different type of wheat that has a more mild taste than classic whole wheat. You can look for it in your grocery store with the other whole wheat flours, but you can also find it online if you can't find it at your grocery store. We're also going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt here. And then I'm just gonna finish folding this all together until it's just combined. Again, you don't wanna over mix here. All right, now we're gonna add 2 super ripe bananas to a medium-sized bowl. You wanna make sure these bananas are nice and ripe, just like you would with banana bread, so they add lots of flavor and sweetness to the final product here. If you don't always have bananas on hand, a good way to make sure you always have some ripe ones at the ready is when you do buy a bunch of bananas, you get to the end of the week and they've all turned brown, just pop them into a zip top bag and put them in your freezer and they'll keep like that. And then when you wanna make a recipe like this, you can pull them back out, let them thaw a little bit until you can mash them and you're good to go. Ripe bananas. All right, we are going to mash these up so we get kind of a paste. Just using a fork here, but you could use a potato masher too. All right, now I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm just gonna mix that right into our bananas here. Now we're gonna add all this batter that we made earlier to these bananas. Then we're just gonna divide this batter in half. You can just split it between the 2 bowls. All right, now it's time to add the chocolate, my favorite part. So I have a 1/2 cup of cocoa powder and a 1/2 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And we are just gonna mix that in to the batter in that first bowl here, the large bowl. Okay, now that I have both batters made, it's time to add them to the pan. So we're gonna start with 1/2 of the brownie batter, which is a little bit thicker, and you're just gonna dot it in your pan. It doesn't need to be in an even layer or anything like that, because we're gonna swirl these 2 batters together. All right, now we're gonna take all of that banana mixture and pour it right on top of the brownie mixture. And then you're just gonna repeat the same thing with the other 1/2 of the brownie mixture. Just take little dollops and spoon it on top. Okay, now just take a knife and you're gonna run it through the batter to swirl them around. All right, now I'm gonna put this in a 350-degree oven until a toothpick comes out clean. It'll take about 40 minutes. All right, the brownies are ready. I've let them cool completely, and now they're ready to be taken out of the pan. So I'm just gonna take a knife and loosen up the edges just to make sure nothing is stuck so they don't rip. All right, just flip them out. They smell so good. It smells like banana and chocolate in here. All right, so now I'm just gonna cut this into 16. These brownies are so beautiful. I love their marbled look. They're the perfect dessert to make for friends, if you have friends coming over, or even just for your family for a nice weeknight dessert. They'd be great in a lunchbox too, honestly. You gotta make these banana bread brownies developed by Carolyn Kasner. To get the recipe and other healthy recipes just like it, head to eatingwell.com. And if you make them, take a picture, post it to Instagram, and tag me. I wanna see what you're making. Until then, I'll see you next time.